Hello, I'm your host Jo Linsdell and this is Writers and Authors Television. Coming up in today's show, I'll be joined by Andrea Wilson, who'll be sharing her tips for writing suspense. I'll also be sharing with you a few tips on how you can optimize your Twitter profile. And don't miss the In the News for this month, where I'll be talking about Amazon's latest feature. Hi Andrea, thanks for joining me today. Please tell us a little bit about your books and then share a few tips with us for writing suspense.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Wilson, but to my thriller fans, I'm known as Janell. I'm the author of almost a dozen books, and I'm here today to talk to you about my most recent thriller, as well as to provide you with some tips on writing thrillers. My most recent thriller is entitled Grave, and it actually was published in a Christian fiction anthology called Love Said Not So. And here's what Love Said Not So looks like. You can also find Grave as an individual e-story on Kindle and Nook. Grave follows the journey of Patricia Jensen, who is a wife, a mother, a manager at her job. Everything is going great until one day she stumbles upon a website that tells her that she only has 6 days left to live. Is it all in her mind, or is death truly knocking at her front door? You'll have to read the story to find out. So let's dive into tips for writing suspense. One, understand that thrillers are all about the suspense. So no matter what's going on in your thriller, there should be a suspenseful element to it. Even if you're in a lower place, like if you're writing the backstory or explaining a location or a character, you still want to always have some level of brewing suspense going on. Even if nothing's going on at that moment, the reader should always feel like there's something lurking in the background. Two, don't be afraid to start your story or your book off with a bang. In the first chapter or even in the first paragraph, have something scary, something unexpected, something dramatic happen that really hooks the reader and keeps them reading throughout the book or the story. Three, leave the reader hanging. In other genres, you may be tempted to end each chapter in a resolved manner. However, in thrillers, it's okay and it's actually a great idea to keep the readers with questions from chapter to chapter. So it's okay to end your chapter still in mid scene or with wondering or lingering questions. Four, make your characters likable. Sometimes in thrillers, you always don't have the nicest character or the character that everybody loves. Sometimes the character may be evil. Sometimes the main character may even be the antagonist. But you want your readers to like the character enough, even if they're an evil or bad person, to feel connected to them, to want to root for them, and to want them to make it to the end. So with thrillers, make sure that you keep your characters likable. And finally, know the difference between thrillers and horror. Horrors are really designed to scare the reader and to keep the reader scared well after the book is over. However, with thrillers, that's not always the case. Thrillers are really more about impending doom, something that the main character has to overcome by the end of the book in order for life to go on or whatnot. So it's really about that character overcoming whatever the situation is. So that means that there should be some level of resolution at the end of a thriller. Now, it doesn't have to be a happy ending, and it doesn't have to end with everything perfect, but you want to have some level of resolution rather than just scaring your reader and having your reader be scared well after the book, because that's more horror. Thank you for the opportunity to come and share these tips and to share my writing with you. Please feel free to visit me online at www.iamjanell.com. Have a great day and happy reading or writing.
And now for some tips on how you can optimize your Twitter profile. Twitter recently did another makeover of their site. They've followed in the footsteps of some of the other social media sites, and they've got a lot more visual with their profile layout. In fact, you can now upload a profile header to your page, much like the Facebook timeline cover, giving you a big visual impact when people arrive on your page. They've also enlarged the photo aspect, so any photos that you upload to the site have a lot more visibility now. Now, the header image serves as a backdrop for your Twitter account information, which includes your profile image, which is centered in the middle of the box. You have your username, your Twitter account name, your Twitter bio, your location, and a web link. Now, one of the first things that is really great about the Twitter banner is the fact that you're not restricted like you are with Facebook's timeline banner. In fact, on your Twitter banner, you can include special offers, time-sensitive promotions, announcements about your business, and even hashtags where people can follow you on Twitter. When you're creating your Twitter banner, there's a few guidelines that you need to keep in mind. Now, the recommended image size is 1,252 pixels wide and 626 pixels high. The image must be larger than 700 pixels wide for image quality. But remember, the file must be under 5 MB. Now, there are a few things that you can't change. Twitter automatically adds the grey shading gradient on the lower half of the image, and the text that appears on your profile will be in white. You cannot change these features, so make sure you experiment with your image before making your final decision. You want to make sure that your profile reflects who you are and your brand. Now, you're probably thinking, I'm a writer, I don't have a brand. You are your brand. So you want to create a profile that reflects who you are and the work that you do. Whatever design you choose, make sure that it represents you. Now, as a writer, you might want to have something like a typewriter or a keypad, a laptop, or even some pens and paper. You might also want to do a collage where your various different book covers are featured. Or if you do a lot of in-person events, you might want to have a collection of photos of you speaking. For the most professional look, try and make it so that your profile header banner matches or is at least coordinated with your background image. A few other things to bear in mind when creating your profile. Make sure that your information is up to date and filled out in full. Now, you need to make sure that your bio is interesting, captures the attention of readers, and includes some keywords related to what you're all about. This will make sure that your profile appears better in search results. Now, you also want to make sure that you fill out the information, so make sure that your website is included. On Twitter, they give you a space on your profile page where you can include a website. So if you have a website or a blog, make sure you fill in that information. In the news this month, Amazon rolled out a new feature called the Amazon Author Rank. Now, Amazon Author Rank is the definitive list of best-selling authors on Amazon.com. The list makes it easy for readers to discover the best-selling authors on Amazon overall and within a selection of different categories. The Amazon Author Rank is a rank based on the sales of all of your books on Amazon.com. Just like the bestsellers, it's updated hourly. The top 100 authors overall and the top 100 in selected genres are displayed on Amazon.com, giving you a lot of extra visibility if in fact you are already selling books. The rich get richer. You can see your Amazon Author Rank trended over time in your Author Central. So if you go to the rank tab on your Author Central page, you will see the historical rank data starting from September the 28th, 2012. You can also select to see your ranking over different periods, so you've got overall in the last 4 weeks, and various other options available. But this gives you some great statistics to see how well you're doing as an author in general. And if your ranking is good, then it gets you a lot of extra visibility as well. That's it for this month. If you've liked this episode, then please click the like button below. Also, make sure you click the subscribe button above to make sure you don't miss out on any new updates to the channel. Coming up in next month's episode, I will be joined by a surprise special guest who will be sharing some tips about promoting seasonal books. I'll also be talking a bit about setting your writing goals for the new year, so don't miss it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.